Dr. Derek McAllister has a big channel. Oh my God. Oh, wait. About the size of mine. But he's a doctor, so he's got to be right, and I have to be wrong. Anyways, he has a video called There's No Evidence for God and Why That Statement is Wrong. All right. I'm just going to start here at 3 minutes and 58 seconds. Because he says, there's types of evidence. And he gives 6 of them. So we're going to go ahead and equivocate what the word evidence is. Because, whatever. Empirical evidence, right? Yeah. Testimonial, he calls it evidence. I just call it testimonies. Logical evidence, which isn't a thing. You have logical arguments. Introspection, which is not evidence. Memory, which can be faulty. And rational insight, just seeing what's true, which would be covered by 1. So really there's 1 empirical evidence, and then the rest of them aren't evidence. All right, cool. But if we pretend that they're evidence, then we can equivocate the word evidence and pretend that these things are evidence, even though they're not, because we call them evidence. So they're kind of evidence because natural language is a son of a bitch that refuses to be pinned down. Because we're doing philosophy. Yeah, all right. There is no evidence for God because the people that claim God don't have evidence that God is even a thing in the first place. They have definition propositions about the word God, but they have no proof that those definitions are true either. People feel things and then say that that feeling is God. But we know that we can induce similar, if not exact, feelings in humans artificially via the so-called God helmet and the placebo God helmet. And under the right conditions, people can feel this feeling in places where you wouldn't think God would be, or you shouldn't expect to have that feeling, because it's the sort of feeling that you get when you're around a large group of people and you're participating in something all together. It's something you experience at concerts. It's the feeling of being together and all singing the same song. It's a feeling that people misattribute to God. And not just that feeling, but other feelings. You go into your little closet, you turn off the lights, you get it, maybe not all the way off, but then you get nice and quiet, maybe get a little quiet music playing or something, and you meditate, and you feel this feeling, and you call it God. But it's not God. It's just a feeling. So there isn't any evidence at all of God. Well, people's testimony, even if we're going to count this list, which I don't see why we should, testimony is nothing. And somebody in the comments pointed it out. They said that their uncle has tons of testimony and drawings about aliens. And I guess that's right. And he said, well, your uncle was wrong. And I said, no, the aliens just told me that his uncle is right, prove wrong. If testimonial evidence is evidence, then his uncle saw aliens. And I guess that's it, right, doctor? Or maybe not. Maybe testimony is irrelevant and can't be trusted, which is what we're finding out more and more as time goes on. Logical evidence, that's not a thing. Logic is a system that produces a argument, and you can have the formula in formal logic, and the formula is either true or not, If it's not, then you didn't do it right, and that's the end of that. And in informal logic, same thing, but now you're dealing with natural language, and you're trying to see if there's logical fallacies that you can point out and weaken the argument. You're trying to show that the argument is or isn't sound. You're trying to indicate that somewhere someone made an error in reasoning. But that's not evidence. That's an analysis of logic. I've often said arguments aren't evidence. Introspection, that's just thinking about stuff. Memory can be faulty. And rational insight is just seeing that something is true. Well, then that goes under empirical evidence, so we don't need it. So memory and introspection both can't really be evidence. Introspection is you're just thinking about stuff. So how's that evidence? You're not gaining new insights into anything. You're just reviewing what you already think that you know. And memory, well, memory can be faulty. So we can't necessarily say memory is evidence either. So this is nothing then. I don't know what are you talking about? All right, all right, what else? What else you got? What is belief? All right, let's listen to this.
Evidence. Next up, belief. What does it mean to believe something? Here we're not talking about the religious connotation of belief.
Well, why not? Because that's the topic at hand. That's the only that's it. I don't care about other types of belief when I'm talking about God. The religious belief is all that matters in that context. But okay, let's equivocate belief. Sure, why not?
Like having faith in something, or with any hopeful meaning, such as I believe in myself, but with the technical sense of the term that philosophers use the term belief. At its core.
And how do philosophers use it? Please, provide me a list of different philosophers that have used belief and show me how they all have meant it or used it. Let's see if they all align perfectly with each other, or if that list starts to deviate wildly depending on what philosophers you list. It's easy to say philosophers use it in X way. It's hard to demonstrate that philosophers use it in X way. Please, doctor, demonstrate that philosophers have used it in this way.
Believe simply is the mental acceptance of something and taking that thing to be true. So I hold it to be the case that blank. I believe the sky is blue. I believe I'm sitting in this chair right now. And
I know that the sky is blue, and I know that I'm sitting in this chair right now. These are not beliefs.
Of course, philosophically, we're more interested in justified belief. That is, beliefs that are supported by good reasons, and you guessed it, evidence. It's one thing to just think that something is true, another to have a solid basis for that thought. Of course, this is called.
Yeah, or you could just not say the word believe because it doesn't apply, and you either have facts or you have faith. That's how I separate these two columns. If you have facts, then you have the data to support those facts. If you don't, then you have faith. It's not that difficult. This is, philosopher, whatever, show me what the philosophers have said, prove that they've said. I don't really care at the end of the day what they said, because they're either right or wrong. A lot of the time, the philosophers are wrong.
All justification. We can form beliefs without evidence, of course, but they're not very reliable.
Yeah, and that's all you have when it comes to God. Period. Every single time. Over and over again.
Believe in luck, for example, even if there's no empirical data to back it up. But
right, and if there's nothing to back it up, then you shouldn't believe in it. I don't believe in luck. It's not real. It's a made-up phenomenon. It doesn't really exist.
When we're talking about knowledge and knowing, philosophers generally agree that true beliefs need to be justified.
Oh, there you go again. Philosophers think X. Really? How do I know that? You said it. Can you show me that philosophers say this? Which philosophers? All of them? Some of them? The majority of them? The most popular ones? Or you don't even have the list, do you? You don't have all the things that they have compiled to show me that they've all said things that are similar enough that we can say, yeah, they all agree in a consensuary way. Because philosophy isn't done like science is. There's no consensus in philosophy. There's no science to philosophy either. Has anyone tried? Is Kant more or less right than Aristotle? I'd love to see that. Yeah, that's all right. Philosophers just say stuff. Cool, yeah, that's nice.
In other words, the beliefs need support. Critically here, you need not know something with 100% certainty in order to know it. I
don't even know where that idea came from in the first place, this degree of certainty. There's no way that I know of to quantify certainty in the first place with a logical underpinning. Like, how certain are you of it? Pretty sure, reality is real. How certain are you of it? As certain as a person can be. Is that 100%? I don't know. I guess. It's just not, it's a statement that has no real meaning.
I can know where I parked my car. I can know that my son is in the other room. I can know that my wife loves me, so on and so forth. I could be wrong about these things, of course, and have less than 100% certainty. I could be fallible, in other words, but that doesn't mean I don't know them because I'm fallible about them.
No, those would be beliefs. Well, to some extent. You think that you know where you parked your car, and you're basing it on your localized memory, which should probably be, and most of the time is, good enough to get you back to your car. If you just saw your son in the other room, then the likelihood that he's still in that other room, if it was just a moment ago, is fairly decent. As far as your wife loving you, you have evidence that she loves you by what she does and or doesn't do. If you have evidence to the contrary, then then you have to accept that new evidence, as hard as that might be. But it's more of a belief than it is knowledge. But go ahead, mess around with the word knowledge, because that's all you've been doing the whole video, is equivocating, as far as I can tell. So keep on equivocating, doctor. What's he a doctor in? I don't know. All right, I'm gonna look it up. Philosophy. Oh, yeah. Well, whatever.
Now for the big one, proof. If evidence supports a claim, what does proof do? What do we mean by proof? What we mean by proof typically implies an undeniable or conclusive demonstration of something to be true. When something
That's what we typically mean? How do you know that's what we typically mean? Do you have a survey of humans to determine what they typically mean by this word? Or are you relying on dictionaries for your typical meaning? I'd love you to demonstrate that these things are true that you're saying at any level, but that's fine. Just say stuff. If it sounds good, it's probably true.
thing is proven, for instance, there's no reasonable doubt left, usually. It depends on the discipline. In mathematics, proof always means absolute deductive certainty. If you prove the Pythagorean theorem, for example, it's true always, everywhere, and without exception. But in science, proof works a little bit differently. When we talk about theories being proven, what we often mean is that there's an overwhelming body of empirical evidence, consistent observations, and predictive success. And we might say, for example, gravity is proven, but scientists are always open to new data that might refine our understanding. It's rarely 100%.
Yeah, gravity is 100% proven. But but keep on philosophizing. Maybe like, we were wrong about gravity, actually. That's why we're floating now. Yeah, we could be wrong about that. It might not be 100%, Come on.
Absolute in the mathematical sense. In fact, by rule, nothing empirical can have 100% certainty. In law or in legal systems.
Wait, are you 100% certain of that statement? See, that's the problem with this. Like, you can't have 100% certainty. Are you sure about that? Like, how can you say that you can't be certain about things, or is it, except for this statement, you can't be certain of things, right? You'd have to, wait, but then that's special pleading. This statement is free of logical fallacies and also immune from them, and is stating something about reality that you can't examine, but it's true in that you can't be certain about anything except for this statement. There you go. Fixed it for you.
Proof is about meeting a certain standard.
Right. The court of law. Yeah, theists love to bring things to the court of law. They love to put God in an imaginary courtroom because their evidence means something completely different than what the atheists have been asking for forever. And I've told a person that claimed to be a lawyer, I will have a mock trial. Of course, they never agreed to it. They didn't say anything in response. They ran away like a little coward because God would fail to appear if summoned to the podium. And so that'd be it. That's the end. And you couldn't get appears for God to be on the jury. So the whole thing is, but if we ignore all that, okay, now what? How do, and God is guilty of existence. And you have to defend his innocence. Because I would be the persecution, which is weird that would be the setup, but it'd have to be because the believer believes that God is innocent of not existing, innocent so he exists, and I'm saying no, God is guilty of not existing or something like whatever, Anyways, all right.
Of evidence, so beyond a reasonable doubt in criminal cases, or a preponderance of the evidence in civil cases. By the way, these are not the same standard. Okay. Similar with religious claims.
Here we go. All right, here's the part that I care about. Let's see what he has to say about religious claims, because it's the only thing I care about is the religious stuff. I don't care about the other philosophical stuff. Whatever. This is all that matters. Okay, religious claims.
When someone asks for proof of God, we have to consider what kind of proof are they looking for?
All right. When someone asks you for proof of God, what are they looking for? If you're not sure about that, you can ask them. But I would tend to think that it would be the same sort of proof for everything else. Now, I could be wrong about that assumption. And if you're not sure what they want, then okay, ask. But proof of God, the same sort of proof I have of anything else. That's what I would like for God. Yeah, Snuffy. Any proof. What you got? Yeah, what do you have? What do you have? And then they, of course, equivocate. Well, proof, there's types of proof, whatever. No. You know what I'm asking. Come on, give me what you got. Right? What do you have?
A mathematical proof, a scientific experiment, legal verdict, obviously.
Okay. A mathematical proof of God, that would be interesting, but it would also make God a number, which would mean that God exists only as an abstract object of the mind. I'd be fine with that. Cool. Do you have that? Is there a number called God? Okay, cool. Then I guess you technically have a mathematical proof of God. Scientific proof of God, you better have a published peer-reviewed paper on that. Legal proof, cool, yeah, let's go to law. Let's go to the court and let's settle it there and see if we can get a legal proof of God or not. Let's see if it would pass the scrutiny of a court of law. No theist has ever done any of these three things. So what else do they have?
None of these can fit the bill because none of these are the right tool. It's like reading a NASA employee.
Okay, now, how do you know that none of those are the right tool? This is the continual problem with apologists and theists. And I don't know, maybe this doctor isn't one of them. I don't know. But this is a continual ongoing problem that I've seen with apologists and theists is they make this claim that you're asking for the wrong thing. And I can show you clips of theists doing this. I know William Lane Craig did it. I know other theists have done it. And they'll say, you're asking even Peterson did it. Jordan Peterson did this too. You're asking for evidence of God. That's ridiculous. There isn't evidence of God. Huh? Yeah, there's no evidence of God. Of course there's no evidence of God. No natural evidence of God. Oh, okay. In the natural world that we have, that's all we can know about. There's no evidence. But see, in this other world that we can know nothing about, we're going to call it supernatural. I'll call it an alternate reality. This alternate reality, there is proof. There's tons of alternate proof for this God in alternate reality. Cool. How do you access alternate reality? How do you know it's a thing? How did you verify alternate reality? Well, I mean, because it's just there. Because I said it was there. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's it. That's all. So how do you decide that you can't have mathematical proof for God? How do you decide that you can't have scientific proof for God? Please explain to me, doctor, how you have decided that asking for mathematical, scientific, or legal proof of God is a category error. How did you come to the conclusion that God is in a category that is not those categories? What method did you use to decide that? Please illustrate it. I would love to know.
Handbook and expecting to find Michelin 5-star restaurant recipes, or like expecting to discover human rights by solving math problems.
Okay, those are great examples of category errors, but how do you know that in regards to God?
Can't use the wrong tool and expect to get the right answers.
Cool. How do you know they're the wrong tools?
Remember what I said about evidence earlier? What kind of evidence applies here with religious claims?
The same sort of evidence we have for everything else.
Certainly not empirical, at least not.
How do you know that?
Direct empirical evidence.
There's no such thing as not. What do you mean by non-direct empirical evidence? That doesn't make any sense.
In fact, think about it. Why expect an immaterial, non-physical being to...
An immaterial, non-physical anything? What the hell is that? What are you talking about? What is immaterial, non-physical? What is that? Show me that. Explain what this is in the first place. Demonstrate that that is even a thing that can be. Oh, right. You're not going to do that. So immaterial, what does that mean? What does it mean to be immaterial? It means, or non-physical, same thing, right? It means you're not made of anything. Is there anything not made of anything that we know of at all? Like honestly, is there anything at all that you can bring up that is not physical or in some way, shape, or form? Please tell me what that is. I would love to know. Give me an example of something non-material that we have. Oh, right. The soul, right. The soul, right. That's a non-material thing we have, is the soul, right? Cool, yeah. And you're laughing, right? I know, because Okay, sure. Yeah, no, let's go on the soul, right? And then we go, okay, cool. Where's the soul at? Oh, right. You can't really give me an example of a soul, but it's non-material. Well, how do you know the soul is non-material? Because you defined it as non-material, or somebody did. But that's not what I'm asking. How do we identify that there is a non-material anything at all, period? Is there any example of non-material anything? And if not, then this means the non-material is an idea that we've come up with. It's a concept that exists in our brain, but nowhere else. The idea that there's non-material anything is just an idea, nothing more. Unless somebody somewhere can demonstrate it, then we can talk about it. But the problem is, it is defined to be non-material. So you cannot examine it. It is defined in a way that it cannot be examined. It is similar to a statement like this. Everything except for this statement must be, you must use logic on every statement except this statement. And this statement also is free from scrutiny of science. I am always right. Now, that's the statement I've made. I'm always right. You can't examine that using science or logic. So I guess I'm always right now, right? Because I said that in that statement. But you could say the same thing. You could say, this statement is free from scientific scrutiny and logic. You are always wrong, deconverted man. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we both are, we're both right. But that can't be. So maybe there's something wrong with saying that it is immune from scrutiny, which is what you are doing when you're talking about non-material, non-physical. You are saying it is immune from discovery. Let's substitute the word for what it should be: magic. Magic is not material. Magic is not physical. Magic is not natural. So, we are talking about magic. The realm of magic, if you ask for proof of magic, that's a category error. You're not allowed to ask for proof of magic because magic doesn't have proof in that way. There's no legal proof of magic. There's no empirical evidence of magic. And there's no scientific way to look at magic. That's a category error. Magic belongs in its own special category. I like to call this category made up bullshit. So that's the category that God belongs in then. Right, Doctor?
To be directly empirically accessible with your five senses. It's a category error. Again, like expecting to find human rights by solving math problems. So,
well, I don't know. I mean, it depends on the math problems that you're looking at, right? Because I mean, if you made human rights into variables, and then you were doing math on those variables, you could do it that way. I mean, okay, but we know that math problems are a thing, and we know human rights are a thing, although they're both, they're so. Show me a non-material thing. Oh, right. We're back to that problem. So yeah, you're saying it's a category error, but you're not demonstrating that it's a category error. That's what I would like. But no theist, no apologist has ever done this. I don't know if this doctor is a theist or apologist. I have no idea. But I'm just saying, it's never been done that I know of. It might have been done somewhere. Someone might have done it. I'd love for Doctor to do it.
But what kind of evidence applies here?
That's a good question. Well, what evidence applies for magic? Okay. Yeah, that's a good question. All right.
Perhaps these might. The ones we mentioned earlier, remember? Reason.
Okay, so is magic reasonable? No.
Rational insight.
Is rational insight way to get to know that there's magic?
Even testimony.
Testimony of magic. Is that enough? Hey, look. Hey, Doctor. And check it out, everybody on YouTube right now. I did a magic right now. Now, I know I'm not on my camera. You can't see what I did. Oh, you know what? I mean, that's not fair, right? I mean, you want to see it. I know you want it. Oh, you pesky skeptics. You always want to see the magic. Okay. Hold on. Let me plug in my webcam. Oh, my hair is probably a mess. Somebody's going to say something about it. I don't care. Whatever. You know. All right. Get all that smoothed out. Try to make myself a little bit presentable. Whatever. You know. Okay. Let me turn on my camera. All right. You know, if you have small children in the room, make sure they go away because I don't want to see my face. Okay. No, that's not the button. I hit the wrong button. I'm a professional. I know what I'm doing. All right, here we go. Yay! Here I am. All right, you want to see the magic? Oh, man, this is going to be good. Okay, are you ready? There's nothing in my hand. Okay, and now the lobster. Oh, my God, I did magic. Oh, how did I do that? Wait, there's more. Wait. I ate the lobster. Oh my God. No, wait. Oh, look, it's back and it's on my head. It's magic. Oh my God. Wait, I can do another one. See my thumb? Oh, watch this. Watch this now. Oh my God, I pulled my thumb off. Oh, how did I do that? Oh my God. Oh, that's so amazing. Oh, it's so cool. And you're not allowed to tell me how I did that because magic is immune from scrutiny. Anyways, that might have been a bit hyperbolic. Not sure. But yeah, I just did magic. Prove wrong. Here, wait. I've got a bunny, and I'm going to pull this bunny out of this hat. Ta-da! Ho-ho! Didn't. That it's a very small hat, but it is a hat. I mean, it goes on the bunny's head, or it could, but it doesn't really fit. So I decided that it wasn't a hat, and it was like the bunny's shorts, and so then the bunny's in the shorts, and that's magic because I said it was magic. Sure, why not? And I can do all sorts of magic. In fact, on my channel, I have a video called The Challenge. And Doctor can do the challenge. In fact, I would hope that Doctor features my video called The Challenge, because it's a short video, and plays that video and then explains to me and all his viewers why he will or will not take the challenge. Come on, you guys and girls have seen the... Do I need to put the challenge? All right. You're like, well, just play the video, Deconverted Man. I don't want to click and find it. It's there. I mean, you know, where the hell is the challenge? Where is it? There we are. All right. I can do that. It's really fast. I mean, you know, might as well. I don't know. Wait, where is it? There it is. Okay, the challenge. Here we go. Here's the challenge. Step 1. Go outside in underwear only that have hearts on them. Step 2. Spin counterclockwise as you sing I'm a Little Teapot Short and Stout. Don't forget to do the little teapot dance as you do this. Film everything. Then send that film to me and you will get your wishes multiple granted. Will you do this challenge? If not, why not? There you go, Doctor. So the evidence that you might ask for me about this coming to be is, well, what empirical evidence or scientific test or lawyer law stuff can we give for it? None. You have to do it. If you do it and you don't get your wishes, you've proven it wrong. That's it. That's the only way to prove it wrong, is to do it and for you to get no results. So if you send me that video, well, first of all, I'm going to post the video on my channel because of course I am. And secondly, well, we'll see whether or not that the challenge was valid. No one has done it. Not a single person. It's been up for a while. Nobody has sent me any videos of them doing this. Nobody wants their wishes granted, I guess. But doctor, before you say, well, but I haven't proven it, but you haven't proven that it's not. And you haven't proven it, so what? It's magic. I don't have to prove it. You have to disprove it. Is that how things work? Or can we be reasonably sure that doing this thing will not yield in the granting of wishes without actually doing the thing to demonstrate that it won't yield in the result that I have promised? You let me know, doctor. I'm sure you will, because you're a doctor. So help me out, doctor. You know? Or maybe he won't do that challenge. I don't know.
Introspection, memory, and so on. All this to say, the nature of the thing that we're trying to prove dictates the kind of proof that could possibly apply and the
So the nature of the being that I have not yet proven dictates the sort of proof that being has. Cool. So we can just define, and it doesn't have to be being, it can be anything. I define magic as being something that you're not allowed to test. I present to you the challenge. I ask you to perform it. You don't perform it. I claim that well, of course you're not going to get your wishes now, stupid. You didn't do the challenge. So why not just do the challenge? That's all. If you want to prove me wrong, do the challenge. But you won't. I know you won't. I know nobody will. Well, I don't know that for sure. Maybe you will do it. I would love to see you do it. Please email me the video of you doing it, or hell, put it on your channel. That would be. But the challenge says you have to email it to me, so you have to follow the rules of the challenge, or it won't work, obviously. But yeah, if I define something in such a way that no scrutiny is allowed, maybe we should think that that thing isn't real, rather than giving it the benefit of doubt and saying, well, maybe that could be. No. Because you've defined it as being something we can't prove. Great. Then how do you know it is that? Well, because I defined it as something you can't prove. But how do you know that we can't prove it? Because because that's what it's defined as. That's not logical, but that's okay, because I defined it as not being logical either. So if somebody defines something in a way that defies proof, I ask them, how do you know that it is that thing in the first place? So, doctor, how do we know that it is that thing in the first place? Yeah, they've defined it that way, but that doesn't free it from scrutiny or logic or science or skepticism. In fact, because they've defined it in a way that negates probing and testing, we should absolutely think that it isn't at all. There you go. So, when it comes to evidence of God, there's still no evidence of God, just bad arguments. Doctor, I'd love to hear your response to me. I'm not a doctor. Do you think he's going to give a response to this video? Do you think he cares? He's doing his own thing. He's got his own viewers. You know, he's not going to care about me. But anyways, all right, everyone. You know, That's all I got. Some guy in chat is pretending that they have proof of God, but they don't. I guess I could talk about that a bit. Hey, Raul, go ahead and email me. Email me, deconvertedman1@gmail.com, and we can talk about that live. All right? And if you don't do that, then your God doesn't exist. All right. Anyways, until next time, be skeptical. And after next time, stay skeptical. And doctor, I'd love to hear your response to this. And for everyone else, do the challenge, because I want to get some videos of you guys dancing in underwear. But more than that, I want girls to do it.